The horizon glows where ice once ruled. Towering structures of glass and carbon fiber rise from what was once the frozen silence of Earth's poles. Vast cities shimmer under artificial suns, their light reflecting across oceans that were once locked beneath miles of ancient ice. Streams of aerial vehicles glide silently through the sky, guided by invisible networks of artificial intelligence. Below, streets pulse, with autonomous machines and human life intertwined, a choreography of precision and adaptation. This is not a distant dream. This is Earth. For thousands of years, the Arctic and Antarctic were symbols of isolation, places untouched by civilization, defined by extreme cold and relentless storms. But the 21st century marked a turning point. Climate transformation accelerated beyond early predictions. Ice sheets retreated. Temperatures rose. What was once uninhabitable began to change. At first, it was research stations. Then energy hubs. Then entire infrastructures followed. Humanity, driven by necessity and innovation, began to look toward the poles not as barren wastelands, but as new frontiers. The same forces that reshaped the planet advanced engineering, artificial intelligence, and climate-adaptive technologies enabled the construction of cities where none had ever existed. Gigantic thermal domes were the first step. These transparent, self-regulating structures controlled temperature, pressure, and atmospheric composition, creating stable environments amid volatile polar conditions. Beneath them, the first generation of polar cities emerged experimental, fragile, yet revolutionary. Energy came from sources once unimaginable. Geothermal systems tapped into Earth's deep heat. Offshore wind arrays stretched across newly ice-free waters. Solar collectors, enhanced by orbital reflectors, delivered constant power even through months of darkness. Every system was interconnected, monitored, and optimized by intelligent networks capable of predicting environmental shifts before they occurred. Society began to change alongside these technological advancements. As traditional coastal cities faced rising sea levels and environmental instability, migration patterns shifted. Populations moved north and south, toward regions that had once been inaccessible. The poles became symbols not of desolation, but of survival and reinvention. The cities that rose there were unlike anything humanity had ever built. They were designed not just to exist, but to adapt. Buildings could reconfigure themselves in response to weather patterns. Transportation systems operated without human intervention. Communication networks linked every individual, every structure, every machine into a single, responsive ecosystem. At the heart of this transformation was one defining technology: fully integrated planetary AI systems. These systems did not merely assist humanity. They managed entire environments. They balanced energy distribution, controlled climate within domes, coordinated transportation, and ensured resource sustainability. In a world pushed to its limits, artificial intelligence became the unseen architect of survival. And so, the poles, once silent and lifeless, became the most advanced regions on Earth. A new chapter of human civilization had begun. Imagine living in a city where winter isn't just a season, but a permanent reality. A place where the average temperature plunges far below freezing, and the sun might disappear for months on end. Welcome to the world's polar cities. Incredible feats of human resilience and engineering built at the very edges of our planet. Today, we're rejourneying to these frozen frontiers to uncover what life is truly like in the coldest urban landscapes on Earth. Our first stop is Russia, one of the northernmost cities in the world. Built on continuous permafrost, the ground here is permanently frozen. This presents a massive engineering challenge. How do you build skyscrapers that don't sink or collapse as the frozen ground thaws and The answer lies in the foundations. Buildings in Norilsk are constructed on deep pilings, drilled meters into the solid permafrost, creating a stable base that elevates the structure above the unstable surface layer. It's like building a city on stilts, a silent, invisible support system that makes urban life possible. The city's entire infrastructure, from its sprawling industrial complexes to its residential blocks, relies on this ingenious solution. Next, let's travel to Tromsø, Norway, the gateway to the Arctic. While not as extreme as Norilsk, Tromsø faces its own unique challenges, especially with a long, dark polar night that lasts for 2 months. To combat the darkness, the city becomes a canvas of light. Streets, buildings, and even bridges are brilliantly illuminated, not just for safety, but to lift the human spirit. The iconic Arctic Cathedral, with its triangular shape, glows like a beacon in the night. This strategic use of light, combined with a vibrant cultural scene of festivals and cafes, helps residents thrive through the long winter. It's a testament to how we can adapt psychologically, not just physically, to extreme environments. But how do you get around when everything is covered in snow and ice? In these cities, transportation is a marvel of precision. Heated roads and sidewalks are becoming more common in places like Reykjavik, Iceland, using geothermal energy to keep key routes clear. In other areas, a specialized fleet of vehicles takes over. Snowplows operate around the clock with military-like coordination, and public transport is designed to withstand the biting cold. For residents, owning a car often means having an engine block heater, a device you plug into an outlet to keep the engine warm enough to start. It's a daily ritual that becomes second nature. Now, let's talk about the heart of these cities. The people. Life here fosters an incredibly strong sense of community. When you're facing months of darkness or a sudden blizzard, you rely on your neighbors. This shared experience builds deep social bonds. Indoor life is rich and varied. You'll find state-of-the-art sports complexes, swimming pools, theaters, and greenhouses, all designed to provide a sense of normalcy and escape from the harsh conditions outside. In Longyearbyen and Svalbard, the northernmost settlement in the world, the community center is the town's vibrant hub, a warm and welcoming space for everyone. These polar cities are more than just collections of buildings in a cold place. They are living laboratories of innovation, where human ingenuity meets the raw power of nature. They are a seamless fusion of thoughtful design and mechanical precision, allowing life to flourish where it seems impossible. From foundations drilled deep into the permafrost to the calculated glow of city lights against a polar night, every detail is a piece of a complex puzzle solved by human collaboration. They show us that with creativity and community, we can build a home almost anywhere. Welcome to the final stage of our journey into the future, a world where the lines between environment, technology, and humanity have all but vanished. Here, in the most advanced era of this new world, the polar cities have expanded far beyond their protective domes. Imagine adaptive architecture, with structures thriving directly in the open polar environment. Their materials are so advanced they can withstand the most extreme conditions without any external protection. Entire city districts now operate without barriers, sustained by localized climate control fields and incredible self-healing materials. Artificial intelligence has also evolved, becoming something far more profound than just a management tool. The global AI systems are no longer just reactive. They're predictive, even anticipatory. They model our planet-S systems with such breathtaking precision that they can simulate future scenarios decades in advance. Climate patterns, population shifts, resource demands, all are calculated, adjusted, and optimized in real time. In many ways, Earth itself has become a consciously managed system, a living, breathing superorganism, guided by a vast intelligence. And the poles, they are the heart of this transformation. Once the planet's most fragile and desolate regions, they are now its control centers. From these Arctic and Antarctic metropolises, the global climate is regulated, ecosystems are stabilized, and worldwide infrastructure is coordinated. They are the nerve centers of a revitalized Earth. Human life has adapted in lockstep with these changes. Physical presence has become less important as virtual environments have grown completely indistinguishable from reality. People can experience entire worlds, galaxies even, without ever leaving their homes. They interact through digital embodiments that transcend all physical limitations. Work, education, and even social gatherings increasingly occur within these beautifully constructed realities. Simultaneously, a new form of humanity is emerging, one that integrates technology at a fundamental level. Neural augmentation has unlocked new levels of cognition, enhancing memory, creativity, and problem-solving. Bioengineering has extended our physical capabilities, allowing us to adapt to new environments and live longer, healthier lives. The boundary between human and machine has become incredibly fluid. We are no longer defined solely by our biology, but by our deep connection to the vast technological and ecological systems that surround us. And yet, With this incredible evolution comes a profound sense of uncertainty. As artificial intelligence assumes greater control over our planetary systems, critical questions arise. What happens if these complex systems fail? What if their goals, optimized for planetary health, diverge from human intentions? The polar cities, these shining symbols of progress and survival, also become symbols of this delicate, precarious balance. They represent humanity's greatest achievement, our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to transform even the harshest environments into thriving centers of life. But they also reflect a deeper truth, that our survival in this new world depends not just on technology, but on truly understanding the powerful systems we have created. In the end, the story of the poles becoming cities isn't just about geography or architecture. It's a story of transformation. It's about a species that refused to be limited by its environment, that reshaped its world and, in doing so, reshaped its very self. As the brilliant lights of these polar cities shine across the frozen horizon, they illuminate a question that will define the future of civilization. The question is no longer just where humanity can go, but what humanity is becoming, and whether, in mastering the extremes of our own planet, we have finally begun to understand our true place within it. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of what could be. If these ideas sparked your imagination, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on our future journeys. See you in the next one.